Welcome, Lace Layers. So Lace Lay here. I'm here to tell you guys a story that I've learned. My aunties told me this is the lesson I learned from my aunties. You'll never learn until you experience it. And I never understand what she meant by that, you know? So when I was 15, I always wanted, when we go to the store, so you still like, when you're 15, you still have a bit of a mind, kid's mind. And so for me, when I was 15, we would go to the store and I was like, Auntie, can you buy me this? Auntie, can you buy me that? Auntie, can you buy me this? And my aunties, they sometimes try to like humble me. So they were like, oh no, you don't need that, you don't. And then sometimes they will just like come home with, some stuff. They'll just buy me things but not the point. So, when I go to the store with them, I'll always ask them, can you buy me this? Can you buy me that? And then when I see something that I want, and then they said that they will buy things that I need, but not want. But they will only buy me things that I want only once. So then one time we went to the store and I wanted something very badly, and I basically was like, Auntie, can you buy me that? It's only $1, or it was only $5. And so my auntie was like, she was like, oh, I said, you guys will never understand the hardship of money, the hardship of making money and paying it. So she said it was expensive. $1 was expensive and $5 was expensive. And I was like, that's not expensive. That's just $5, So that was me. That was like 15-year-old me. And I was like, that's not expensive. So then she told me, she's like, you'll never learn until you experience it. So I was like, what? So I was like, what do you mean by that? And then, so she bought it for me because I was begging. That was like 15-year-old me. And sometimes when I think about it, I'm like, why you're doing that, like. But then, when I graduated high school and I went to college and I got my first job, I worked at this restaurant, what was that name? That was like my first job and I forgot. So, so I worked at that first restaurant. That was like the very first, that was my first job, working at a restaurant. So I was a hostess, and basically I just have to sit people and but when I was working there, I started like earning my own money. And so I was like, oh, I'm gonna go spend this money. And so one time I was like, I needed things for myself, because my aunt, one of my aunt moved out to her sisters. So I lived with my other aunt. So then I was like, okay, I need stuff. I need to get me I need shampoo. So basically I started like being independent, and I still live with my aunt, with one of her sister. So then we went to the store. So this one is like, what I learned from being 19. So like my very first experience. So when I asked my aunt, like, hey, can you take me over the weekend? I'm not working on the weekend on this day, so can you take me to Walmart so I can buy me some stuff, because I kind of need I need some stuff and I don't have it. So I need shampoo, I need the girl needs. So, and then she was like, oh yeah, I'm free on this day, so we can go. And then she that day came, and then she took me. We went to Walmart, and then I start shopping. And this is when I'm using my own money, and I was like shopping, right? And then so I went, and the things that you saw when you're a kid and you thought that when I was 15 and I say it was not expensive. Oh my gosh. When I started seeing them, like I saw like those beads, like, because I like to when I was 15, or I like to sit and, like, learn how to make bracelets. And so I see all those, and they cost, like, like some cost like $15, some cost like, and then and then you see like the favorite candy you like, or the or you just wanted something that, and then you saw your favorite, like, like a teddy bear you want, and it's like, it costs $7 or costs $10, and you're like, and you like, and you say, oh, that's not expensive. So, for me, when I was 19, when I start buying things my own, like, I started buying my own. So okay, back to the story. So me and my auntie took me to Walmart that day, and then we started shopping. So we went and we bought. I bought some mouthwash. I bought some toothpaste. I bought some shampoo and conditioner. And then in my head, like, when I saw the bottle container that I always get, like my auntie always got me for a mouthwash, it cost $5 at Walmart, like in the mainland, not. So then I was like, in my head, I was like, this is too expensive. And because I started buying things, I'm like, when I start working and I start shopping my own things on my own, and I start seeing the price on the receipt, and I'm just like, what, so and then and my auntie was with me. She didn't tell, like, she was just accompanying me to the store. So she came. So we went, and then we started buying stuff, and I was like grabbing the things I need. And for me, I set a budget that I will not go over. So I always said that when I shop, I'm not going over $50. So all my stuff has to be under $50. So then, and my aunt, she was laughing at me the whole shopping, because honestly, I hate shopping, but when it comes to things I need, I go shop for things I need. So we were shopping, and then I complained a lot. And then I started like, I started feeling like what my aunt, what she was talking about when when I was 15, not 14, when I was 15, and I started to understand her point of view of how, things are expensive, and even though if it's it's $1 plus tax, and then it's not $1 anymore, because it's like, $2 or $1, dollar something. And I'm just like, so that's where I started to understand what my aunt told me when I was 15. And it's like, if you learn, it's like, you'll never learn if you experience it. So that day when I went shopping with my aunt, I put like something just opened my mind and my eyes, like, and I started to wonder. I'm like, okay, like inside me, and I'm like, okay, I feel like right now, I feel what auntie is feeling right now, like, when you're like, oh, that's just $1, it's not expensive, but then when you start buying it, and it is expensive, and I'm just like, what? And then I started laughing. When I was buying all them, and I'm like, I was holding a basket, and I felt like my heart was racing, because I was like collecting them, and I was calculating them in my head, and I was like, okay, like I was estimating how much we're gonna be. So if I buy the I bought the Crest mouthwash, and that was $5 at Walmart in Maryland. So I estimated to $6. So I estimated to $6, and then I bought toothpaste, was cost like $2, and then I estimate that for $3, and then I was like, basically, like, estimating everything, and then everything started to go over, like, like not over my budget, but like it was close to my budget. And I started having this heart race, and I was like carrying it, and my aunt could tell because I was like, I couldn't, I don't know, like there were some things I forgot that day to buy because I was really like, I just like had a heart race, like I was gonna have a panic attack. It was really weird. And my auntie was just laughing at me, and I was like, and I told my auntie from there, but it was not the aunt that who took me shopping when I was 15. This was her sister. So she so she told me that, and she was like, Lay, what's wrong? And I was like, Auntie, I think I understand what her sister told me. You'll never learn if you experienced it. So, and then I was like, I think I'm in her shoes right now. And I was holding the basket, and I was just standing there, like I froze, and I'm just like, and I was like, I think I think I'm in Auntie's shoes right now, like in her sister's shoes. And then she was like, what do you mean? And I was like, because when I was 15, I keep saying 14. When I was 15, I remember I asked her I wanted this dollar item, like it was only $1, and she said it's expensive, and I was like, that's not expensive, that's $1, like, you know, it's just $1. And she's like, and then she told me that I'll never learn if I experienced it. And we were just standing there for like, you know, in the middle of the hallway of the items, and I was really kind of shocked. So, you know, and I was looking at my aunt, and I was saying like I was like, I now I know, you know, I started to experience, like I felt what it felt like, what my aunt felt, because of, you know, money was tight. And so I was like, you know, I should have been, when I thought about when I was 15, I was like from there, my mind just went back to when I was 15, and I was like, in my head, I was kind of like speaking to the 15-year-old me, and I was like, why did you give Auntie such a hard time when you know, money was tight, you know? But you for me, I was 15, and I didn't have a job, I didn't understand it, but I should have, like, you know, be more humble and be more like, you know, be more understanding. But at that point of view, I was not. So for me, I was like, when I was standing in that middle of that that Walmart hallway, I was like very shocked. And my aunt was like, what, like, you know, she was very shocked too. Like when she saw me, I was very like, so after shopping, we went to like when I got all my items, all the things I need, and I was in my head, I was like really like thinking of, you know, when I was 15, why didn't I get it? Why didn't I be more, you know, understanding to my aunt? And, you know, but then when I realized it, and when I felt it, and when I see it, and then it was a whole different view. And I was like, wow. And I just wanted to go and, you know, tell my aunt, her sister, like, I'm sorry, I didn't understand you. I didn't understand what you were trying to tell me about, you know, money and expenses, like that she had to pay. And so but, and I remembered I did went, and I told my auntie about it, and she laughed, like, so I told her about what happened. So, you know, so after when we bought my stuff, we went to the register, and my aunt was very kind. I mean, I should have used my money, but I was just very shocked. Like, when I went to the register, I was very quiet, and I was very like, and my aunt could tell that I was shocked for some reason. And then she was like, she's like just put your stuff, I'll pay for you. And I'm like, no, it's okay, I can pay it. And she said, no, let me pay, since you're, and she could tell I was like, my head was somewhere else, and I wasn't there. I wasn't. So from there, I was like, okay, I understand what my aunt was telling me when I was 15, what she was trying to tell me. So, and it brought like a huge, like, different whole point of view for me. So when I experienced it, I was like, I started to understand what she meant by you'll never learn until you experience it. So that day I learned what she was trying to tell me when I was 15. So my aunt ended up paying for my for the things I need, and she said, I'm buying this, I'm gonna buy this for you, since these are the things you need, and right now you don't look very you don't really look good. And I was like, I was just very shocked. I was just very shocked with, and like the experience. I was just very shocked with it. And so when we got home, and I went home, she dropped me off. She went to her sister's, and when I got home, I was putting down my stuff, and I'm like, I need to call Auntie. I want to tell her in person, but we didn't really have that time, because she was working. I had school, and she was she moved out. So, and I was living with her sister. So I called her. That was the first thing I did when I got home. I got home, and then I picked up the phone, and I was like, I go to contacts, and I called Best Auntie. Called her up, and I was like, and I called her, and I was like, and I was kind of tearing up, because I never understood what she meant. So, and then I was like, but outside I was just very shocked. And then I was like, and then she answered the phone, and she's like, hello. And I'm like, hey Auntie, how are you doing? And I was talking to her, and just having, okay, my camera caught off because someone called me, which I don't know who was it. But anyway, so I was calling, I was like, hello Auntie, and I was like, how are you doing? And just trying to, like, see how she was. And I was like, Auntie, I understand what you told me when I was 15. And she was very lost. And she's like, what? And I'm like, remember when I was 15, I wanted this, this candy or whatever I wanted, and it was all like, it was $5, it was $1, and then I told you it was like, it was inexpensive. And then she's like, yeah. And then I was like, well, and I was like, tonight when I'm sister, I was like, your sister took me to to Walmart, and I was buying things that I need, because I'm working, I got money. So and I was like telling her, and I was like, so, and I was like, I understand what you meant. And then I was like, I understand what you meant. And then she's like, what do you mean? And I was like, remember what you told me when I was 15? You'll never learn it until you experience it, or or you put yourself in someone's shoes. And it's like, yeah. So I was like, well, so we went tonight, and I got some things that I needed, and I kind of almost got a panic attack, or because, and I was shocked. I got shocked because of, so I told her the story. So I was like, okay, I started buying things I needed. And so I was like, really, like, I started complaining about the prices, and she's like, what? I was like, and I'm like, okay. And I felt like, when I was speaking, I felt like I heard her voice in, like, in my voice. So I was like, so, and I was like, so I bought the mouthwash, and it was $5. And you know what I told Auntie? I was like, $5? Are you kidding me? And then she was laughing. I'm like, this is expensive. And then we went and then we got oh, we bought something for $1, and then I was like, $1? Are you kidding me? And then like everything that I was buying, I was complaining about, and then I was like, and I was like, now I get what you meant by, you know, I don't, I'm like, I get it now, and and I was like, I told her, I was like, I'm sorry, I didn't understand what you were trying to tell me when I was 14. And then she was laughing. She was just like laughing on the phone, and she was like, "It's like yeah." It was like, and she's like, "Okay, good that you get it right now." So, and I was like, "Yeah," and I was like, "Well, thank you for trying to teach me that lesson." I'm glad that I still remember what you told me about. You know, you'll never learn it until you experience it. So you'll never learn until you experience it. So, and I was like I was thanking her because, you know, I would never, I would never imagine that $5 and $1 can be that expensive, because plus taxes, you have to pay tax with it, and I'm like, what? So, yeah. So, that was like the whole experience that I went through, and I was glad that I learned it earlier before I even start, you know, when I thought money was easy and buying things was easy. But honestly, it's never easy buying things that you want. So from there on, I basically buy things that I always need, and then I buy lesser things that I want. And after that, I was like, so when I was working at a restaurant, so you know, I will always buy some things like pizza or whatever, and bring it to, you know, I'll bring it home for the families for them to eat. And so and that's what I try to use my money wisely. And I was very thankful for my auntie for trying to teach me that lesson when I was 15, but I did not understand it until I learned it on my own. And I was glad that I learned it. And I hope you guys will like find something like a lesson in here, because that was my experience of being very like, oh, you know, it's only $1, it's only $5, it's only. So right now, whenever I see things, I don't say, oh, it's only $5, because $5 is expensive. So you kids, I would say for you guys need to give your parents some slack. Like, don't go overboard of what you guys need, what do you guys want, what do you guys. This is my first story time, and it's really fun. So I hope you guys really enjoy. I hope you guys enjoy this story, and you guys learn from it. And hope you guys learn something, and please give your parents some slack. Don't give them a hard time with money, because honestly, it's not easy making money. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. And I hope you guys have a wonderful day, lace layers. And I will see you guys soon. Peace.